everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing very well. In today's video, we are going to be exploring some spicy, sexy, vanilla dominant scents, whether they have notes of leather, suede, or just some spices and pepper, just to kind of heat things up a bit. I'm not sure if I'm just looking forward to cooler weather so I can break out some of these sexy type of fragrances, but I thought I'd just bring some to you in case you were interested in diversifying your collection, if you were thinking about adding something to your playlist from a fragrance perspective. I got a few over here that I think you might be interested. And if you're not looking to add to the collection because it's growing rapidly, just enjoy the video. So if you're interested, please continue to watch. If you are new here, beautiful, welcome to the channel. I do hope you consider subscribing. We have lots of fun here and we smell good too. And if you are returning, hey friend, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. That does help for us to grow. Also, make sure to like this video. It tells YouTube that you're enjoying my content, and let's get right into this video. Like I said initially, guys, these fragrances are going to be your sexy, somewhat spicy type of vanilla fragrances. Most of them are going to be fragrances that are somewhat mass appealing. And when I say mass appealing, I just mean that they're not so far out of the way to where it's like, I don't know about that one. So let's get right into it. Up first is She Was Here by Forever Mood. This is a brand new release from the line. This fragrance has some pistachio in here. There's a milk note as well as suede down in the base. Now, I will say that even though there's milk and pistachio and things like that, it's not super duper creamy. It doesn't go for that super duper lactonic vibe. I'll say there's somewhat of a freshness to this fragrance. It may be coming from the rose that's in here, but I'm gonna tell you something. This one is full bottle worthy. When I first reviewed this, I was like, oh, she's okay. But after wearing her for a while, just sniffing her on her own and just kind of letting some air into this bottle right here, yeah, she's a go ahead and pick her up. Now, because I slept, she sold out, okay? I can't get her in no store. She ain't online. She said, no, I'm unavailable. So I will be babysitting my travel size until Jackie Aina decides to restock. But this is somewhat of a sexy, flirty type of fragrance. You can wear this year round for sure, but it gives you just a little bit of depth to it to where if you wanted to wear her on date night, you absolutely could. Whether that's date night outside the house or inside the house, that'll be up to you. This is She Was Here by Forever Mood. Up next is Bare Sueded Vanilla by Victoria's Secret. This fragrance has some similar notes. This has milk in it, there's sandalwood, there's florals, there's vanilla, and also suede in the base of this fragrance. Now, I will say this one is a little more dense than She Was Here. It's a little more dense. It's a little more gourmand as well. She Was Here, it has some more floral components if you ask me, so it feels more daytime, year-round appropriate. This feels a little bit more evening, nighttime, fall, winter, just cooler type of day appropriate. Although you can wear her how you want, it don't matter. She is just a little bit more gourmand. I think this fragrance is beautiful. There's an airiness to this, even though the fragrance is more dense. She Was Here is just a little bit more bright. I think this is still a great option and it's super affordable. And this is a great way to approach like a suede note without feeling overwhelmed. This is a beautiful vanilla fragrance that I highly recommend you get your hands on. This was a love at first sniff. It was a love at first sniff. This is Bare Sueded Vanilla by Victoria's Secret. Up next is Fulton by Fulton and Roark. Now, I just found out this fragrance was an homage to the city of Atlanta. Now, I am not from here, but I do live here, so I'm repping my city. I do want to tell you a little bit about what the brand said about the inspiration behind this fragrance. It says, Fulton is our tribute to Atlanta, a city that is ever striving and ever rising. Bright notes of mandarin rind and citruses ascend above the subtle smoking scent of Baguette wood. At the heart of the scent is the warm embrace of amber, comforting tea, olive, and sensuous vanilla, made all the richer by the additions of saffron and hints of incense. How nice is that? Now, I did not know that until I was this years old, but this fragrance to me is a beautiful, spicy, warm vanilla scent. This was sent to me by the brand. They sent me a couple of fragrances and then they reached back out to me, say, hey, would you like a couple more? I said, yes, girl, I would. And I had a sample of this, and this one was one of my favorites. Fulton is nice. Now, this fragrance is somewhat of a spicy, resinous type of vanilla scent. This brand is, you know, geared more towards the male audience. To be quite honest, this fragrance to me is very unisex. The ones that I've picked, I would wear them all with the exception of maybe the one I think is called Ramble. That is a little more Creed Adventist vibes, but this one I would wear. It's warm, it's sweet, it's a little bit resinous, great for cold days, has a little bit of spiciness to it, especially with the incense, kind of gives it that smoky quality. I recommend checking this brand out if you can. They are sold inside of Neiman's. I'm not sure if they're in store or just on their actual website, but this fragrance brand is one to watch out for. I know that I'm thoroughly enjoying the scents that they have sent me, and I've had to fight my boyfriend over a couple of them. So at either rate, this is a warm, spicy, beautiful vanilla fragrance that's very much so unisex and is an homage to the city of Atlanta. This is Fulton by Fulton and Roark. Up next is Vanilla Firenze by Gucci. This is a part of their Alchemist collection. This is one of the most beautiful, spicy, some almost drunken, even though there's no like rum or liquor notes in here. It's like a drunken, somewhat of a syrupy type of vanilla scent. This is very beautiful, guys. This fragrance also is very expensive, so make sure you got your coin purse together when you want to add this one to the collection. If you get an opportunity to try any of the fragrances from the Alchemist collection, I highly recommend you do so. The quality is, you can smell it in the bottle. You can smell the uniqueness, the difference. This is a very spicy, resinous vanilla scent that is a little bit dark, but very, very sexy. This is Vanilla Firenze by Gucci. Let me tell y'all something. This bottle of perfume right here is so gorgeous. It is such a sophisticated, beautiful vanilla fragrance. This is La Baguette by Fendi. I wish that I could just get my hands on the entire collection. They released some fragrances, I want to say maybe 2 years ago, and there's a couple that I really enjoy, but I pulled the trigger on La Baguette. This is their vanilla fragrance that, if I'm remembering correctly, the SA told me that it's one of the purest forms of vanilla that they have in here. It's called like CO2 vanilla, something like that. Don't quote me, okay? I'm not your mama, I'm your friend. Go look it up. This fragrance has white leather in it, and it's like a transparent type of cold leather scent. It's nothing overbearing. It's nothing aggressive. It's just something a little soul snatching, but in the most seductive way possible. This fragrance also features one of my favorite notes of violet. There is just nothing that this bottle can do wrong. I sprayed her recently, I want to say a couple days ago. She's also my scent of the day. And I'm just loving the way I smell. I'm loving the way I smell, you guys. If you can, please go to your local Fendi store. Get your nose on this if you can. Or, if you have a friend that got a bottle, be like, hey, sis, send me some. This is gorgeous. This is absolutely gorgeous, absolutely stunning. It's a beautiful vanilla. It's very unique. A little bit creamy as well, but it doesn't have any real lactonic type of notes to it. There's just a butteriness. That's a better word. It's a butteriness to this fragrance that's irresistible. It's absolutely irresistible. I recommend this highly recommend. 10 out of 10. This is La Baguette by Fendi. Now, these next two fragrances are going to be a little hot, a little heavy. They are not safe blind buys, but they are super sexy, uber sexy. But you gotta be a perfume girly for these, okay? This is Vanille Leather by BDK. This is definitely a heavy leather scent, but it's done so smoothly. Like, think about that whiskey or that cognac that's been sitting for, 10, 15 years. You know it's a beast, but you also know the quality and the smoothness when it goes down. That's this in a bottle. It's a beast of a leather scent. The vanilla in here is honestly not the dominant note, but you smell it, but it's so smooth. It's irresistible. It's absolutely irresistible. It's an incredible scent. This is a fragrance that when someone smells it on you, it's like instant bewilderedness, instant confusion because they don't know what's going on. It's unisex for sure. Guy, girl could wear it, does not matter. Now, I recommend that, you know, if you are your average everyday vanilla lover, this might not be the one for you. However, if you've dibbled and dabbled in your vanillas, you played around with a little bit of suede, a little bit of spices like some pepper, and you ready to step it up a notch, BDK, Vanille Leather, said I got you. I'm gonna take care of you. This is phenomenal. I'm gonna try and link this where I can. I know you can get this on some discounter websites instead of just, you know, paying full price at your local retailers or things like that, or even the BDK website, but this good, y'all. This is super duper sexy, seductive, bad bee energy. Okay, this is Vanille Leather by BDK. This last fragrance, you know, when I first got into perfumery, people were talking about this. It had been either discontinued or they just, you know, were only making it in small batches, and the way people were talking about it, it was so polarizing. I was scared to get it, but I had to blind buy it. It was not sold in stores anywhere, and I just took a chance, and baby, the chance paid off. This is Babycat by YSL, a part of their Privé line. This is one of the most spiciest, sexiest, interesting vanilla scents. This fragrance features all kind of peppers. There's elemi, so there's resins in here, saffron, as well as, you know, suede down in the base. It's absolutely beautiful, okay? Now, again, this is not blind buy safe. It's not for the faint of hearts. It's not for your everyday vanilla wearer. But if you can get a decant of this, I highly recommend you do so. I highly recommend you get a decant of this to try it out. There are some alternatives as far as Middle Eastern fragrances. I know Paris Corner has one called Rifakat. Now, what I will say is Rifakat is actually a bit more resinous and spicy than this one is. Babycat, to me, compared to Rifakat, is sweeter. You smell more of the vanilla. There's also one from French Avenue, which has a little cat on the cap. Now, that one to me is a little closer to the actual original because you get more of the vanilla in the fragrance. But at either rate, whether you are gonna jump off the porch and get the real one, or you're gonna try one of the inspired fragrances just to see if you can get along with that scent profile, it is definitely one that will start a conversation. It's unique and it's phenomenal. It's a beautiful scent profile that is unlike really anything. It's not one of those scent profiles. It's like, oh gosh, this smells like Babycat. That smells like Babycat. This smells like Babycat. Kind of how you can go in any fragrance house and kind of find something that smells like BR 540. You're not gonna find nothing that smells like this. You just not. So this rounds out my sexy, bad bee type of vanilla fragrances. This is Babycat by YSL. Okay, you guys, so that's it. That's it for today's video. You know, like I said, we're gonna be here for a good time and not a long time. I'll try and keep it short and cute because I am gonna be doing, like I said, a series with these fragrances and kind of showcasing vanillas and how you can diversify your fragrances featuring certain types of notes or certain types of fragrance families. With that being said, y'all, make sure to leave me a comment down below about what interesting vanillas you have in your collection, the sexy ones, you know, the heavy hitting fragrances, whether they are inspired or OGs. I would love to keep the conversation going. Also, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. That does help for us to grow. And until we see each other again, make sure that you are being kind to yourself. Make sure you're being kind to others, and peace and love, y'all. The world needs it. Bye.